Welcome back, everyone. Moving on to the next question. So if you prepare a drink that is made up of 4 parts orange juice and 3 parts apple juice, how many milliliters of orange juice is used in both of these two cases? So the first case, if the total drink is 420 milliliters, and then number 2, if 135 milliliters of apple juice is used. So I'm going to work first with the 4 parts and the 3 parts. So what we're doing is we're taking 4 parts of orange juice, mixing it with 3 parts of apple juice to get a drink. So the drink, the total drink, is going to be 7 parts in total. Right? When you get a question like this, you're assuming that these parts are equal, right? 4 certain amounts, and then 3 certain amounts, and those amounts are equal. So from here, if there's 7 parts, 4 of those parts is orange juice, then we know that if we have the total amount of juice here, from this we can tell that 4/7 is going to be orange juice, and then 3/7 is going to be apple juice. So we don't know the total amount, we don't know the total milliliters yet, that's going to come when we're doing the cases, but we know the proportions. 4/7 of this drink that we made of this juice is going to be orange juice, 3/7 is going to be apple juice. So now with that, we can go into these two cases. So the first case is pretty easy. We're told that the total amount of juice is 420 milliliters. Well, to get how many milliliters of orange juice, well, we would just take that total amount and multiply it by 4/7. Right? And that would give us 240 milliliters. 4/7 times 420 is 240 milliliters. So 240 milliliters of orange juice is used in number 1. And then if you wanted to get the apple juice, you could take 3/7, multiply it by 420, which would give you 180. Another way to do it is you could just take the 420 and minus the 240, and that would give you, the rest would be apple juice, which would be 180. So multiple ways to do that one. Now number 2 is a little trickier, and there's actually 2 ways to do it. I'll show you both ways. So we're told that there's 135 milliliters of apple juice that is used, and they want the total amount of orange juice. So 2 different ways to do this. The longer way is you could first find what the total is. So we could take the total amount of juice. If we multiply that by 3/7, 3/7 of it is going to be apple juice, and we know that that's going to be 135. And so to get the total, we can just divide both sides by 3/7 here. Right, so the total would be 135, this is like over 1, divided by 3/7. And so that's the same as taking 135/1 and multiplying it by the reciprocal of this, which would be 7/3. And then 135 times 7 would give us 945. 3 times 1 would give us 3. 945 divided by 3 gives us 315 milliliters. So that's the total amount of juice. So this would be 315 milliliters like that. 315 times 3/7 gives us 135. So then to get the total amount of orange juice, that's really easy. We just take now, it just becomes like the other question. We would just take the 315, the total amount, and multiply by 4/7. Which would give us the total amount of orange juice, and that would be 180. We could have also got this 180 by taking 315 and subtracting 135. The rest has to be orange juice, so we can get 180 like that as well. So either way works. What's nice about this kind of question is there's multiple ways to check your answer. Now, the quicker way to do it is you could use ratios. So we know it's 4 parts orange juice to 3 parts apple. right? So this is orange, this is apple. Well, that ratio has to hold with the amount of milliliters we're using. So we're solving for the amount or the number of milliliters of orange juice, so that would be X, and we know that the apple juice is 135 milliliters, right? So we can just cross multiply here. So 4 times 135 would give us 540. And then we'd have 3x, divide both sides by 3, x would end up being 180. So that's another quicker way to do it. Right, so whichever way you do it, the answer for number 2 is 180 milliliters of orange juice.